What's up, Bandidos? Tux here, and I have your back covering Season 8 daily to help you milk every bit out of what this game has to offer. And today, I'm going to give you a Savage Wolverine build that'll let you, or have you, going toe-to-toe with everything in sight. Let's go.
Accept it, Division. This is a war you can't win.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
What's up, Bandidos? Tux here. Hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And we're going to have a fun build today. Lots of gameplay footage and really exciting build that shouldn't be too hard for you guys to put together. And it's definitely a recommended one that you got to try if you like clearing heroic content really, really quickly. Now, to work for both a group gameplay and solo gameplay, today I will be highlighting solo gameplay as I usually do. First, if you like what I do and you want to support me and the Division 2 and the entire Division 2 community, then it's really easy for you to do. All you got to do is hit like right now. Just hit like on this video, and that truly does help me a ton. Also, subscribe if you haven't done that. Before I get too far ahead of myself, let's just make sure my mic is coming in loud and clear, that you can hear the words coming out of my mouth. So mic check, and give me a hashtag TuxLive if you can hear me. I appreciate that. Couple of quick housekeeping things. I just declassified the Regen Rockstar build, so if you haven't seen that, I put links in the description area of this video. You gotta check that out. It's got 8% armor regen, okay? And it crits at almost 700,000 with 20% armor on kill. It's absolutely amazing. Give that one a try. Also, members of Tux's Players Club, make sure you check out the latest classified secret build called Nightcrawler. That one is out, so if you haven't seen that, for those of you that are in Tux's Players Club, I have a link in this video, in the description area of this video. Below, and remember you got to be at least a True Bandido member in order to get access to secret builds. Hardcore members, don't forget the newest digital download and gamer music playlist is out. It's hot, it's fresh. I have it rolling in the background as I'm talking right now. Really good playlist. Excited about this one. So you can stream that, you can download it, listen to it offline, whatever you want. Multiple avenues there. The link to that is also in the description area. And also, for anybody that's a member of the True Players Club, all of that content that I create for the Players Club can be found in the playlist at the top of my YouTube channel. Really easy. So if you don't have links, you can just head over there. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, classified builds are secret builds made just for Tux's Players Club. You have to be a true or hardcore Bandido member level to get access to the secret builds. And these truly are extra builds that I make as a thank you for supporting me and supporting the entire Division 2 community and the dream. So if you want to get access to these secret builds and support the cause, all you have to do is click the join link that you see in the chat feed, or that's also in the description area below. Okay, so we got that aside. Thank you for all those hashtag TuxLives. Let's jump right into the gameplay, guys, and then I'm going to show you the build. But I want to get into the gameplay so you guys can see how this bad boy rolls. And I got lots of gameplay footage, so we'll be going in and out. But again, this build is wrapped around the Savage Wolverine. Okay, so if you don't know what the Savage Wolverine is, it's the named assault rifle that's off the Honey Badger variant. And lots of people like the Honey Badger. It's actually a pretty popular gun. It's kind of like high-end, middle-of-the-road assault rifles. The only downside is that it's lacking one particular mod, but it's pretty fast and it's pretty powerful, and it's got really decent handling on it. So it's a really good AR. And the Savage Wolverine comes with a talent called Close and Personal. It's the perfect version of that. And basically, it's going to give you 38% weapon damage for 8 seconds. So that's 38, you heard me, 38% weapon damage for 10 seconds when you kill a target within 7 meters. So once you kill a target within 7 meters, that damage, that 38% weapon damage is going to work on any enemy at any distance. Okay, so you just have to get your kill within 7 meters. The really cool thing about this talent is that there's no, oh, I got the wrong gameplay footage. I thought I changed that. I'm sorry. Hold up. Let's change that. Give me a second. I thought something looked familiar. That was yesterday's live stream. Let me put this on. There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. Thought it looked too foggy. I literally just created this footage about an hour ago, so it's fresh. Anyways, so what's really cool about the talent, perfect, close, and personal, with, again, that gives you 38% weapon damage, is that there's no cooldown on it, so you can constantly refresh it. And so it's a great for basically close quarter combat and moving fast pace. So if you like fast paced run and gun builds, and if you like assault rifles, then this build is really cool because it's gonna work for both long range and short range when you get that damage buff. So, but you know, it does have some challenges, and so that's why I've been really particular. This is the second build that I've created for the Savage Wolverine. The first build I've created is actually going to be a classified build, so I'm not sharing that one today. I'm going to make a special secret build video for you guys for that one. But it actually brings a lot of challenges. Okay, so the Honey Badger, first of all, is an assault rifle, and any assault rifle that you're going to run and gun and play close and personal or close quarter combat with, it needs to be basically fast, right? It needs to be basically fast on all elements. I mean, it's got to have fast reloads, high RPMs. That's going to help you survive in close quarter combat, right? And the thing about the Savage Wolverine is the RPMs, there's nothing wrong with the RPMs or the handling, but what's wrong with it is that it's kind of on the higher end of reload times. I think it's somewhere between 2.2 and 2.4 seconds per reload. So you feel the reload. And when you got 3 or 4 enemies standing in front of you, then that reload is really matters, right? And the SMGs average like 1.7, 1.9 seconds, so SMGs are really fast, right? So you have to consider that reload time. Now you were like, oh, well, Tux, just play deeper, then, you know, it's an assault rifle, play deep. Well, then you're not using the talent, right? Perfect, close, and personal says you have to be inside 7 meters. That's shotgun range, guys. That's shotgun range. 7 meters is shotgun range. That's close, right? Even SMGs, you can play a little deeper than that. 7 meters is really close. So in order to take advantage of the talent, you need to play in close. So I can't play more relaxed. In my opinion, the only way to play with the Savage Wolverine is to get savage with it, right? And get up in there and be aggressive. Anyway, so check out this gameplay footage. Let me see who has joined this sick gem, maintaining his record. What up, Chicken and Chips? Randy Savage, good to see you, bro. Good job with getting those New York hunters taken care of, yeah. So do you guys see that Cassie Mendoza's got a pretty good chest piece for sale today. So it's the Hunter Killer, like Randy Savage was saying that. Randy Savage, Savage Wolverine, this is your build, Randy. You gotta run this build, bro. Finish this project, man. Get yourself a Savage Wolverine, that'd be perfect. Randy Savage's Savage Wolverine. I gotta make a picture of it like Randy Savage on it for my next build on this. That'd be funny. So yeah, really good chest piece for sale with Cassie Mendoza, the Hunter Killer chest piece, and you have to beat all of basically the Warlords of New York hunters, which some of them are actually in DC. So you know, so it's not New York hunters, it's Warlords of New York hunters. So that was the DLC, basically hunter set, and some of them are actually here in Washington DC. So you do some clearing here of the hunters, and then you head over to New York to finish it off. And there's and it's really fun. It's a really fun task to take on your hunters. It's time consuming, but definitely worth it. I like the kind of the mystery of the hunters. So, and then you get access to that Hunter Killer chest piece, which is really handy. It gives you basically perfect Intimidate, which is 40% amplified damage. And that 5% extra amplified damage really matters. So yeah, so we just cleared all 3 of those guys on the single mag. Did you see that? So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It was all range. I think there was a red, a purple, and an elite. So that's I guess impressive, but what you would like to achieve, I guess, with any assault rifle build. Take out one of each color under a single mag. That's ideal. But yeah, so you can definitely one mag elites. You're gonna have no problem doing that. Even the boss. Some of the bosses you can one mag, some of them it'll take two, depending on how tanky they are. But taking on groups is not a problem with this. With this setup, it's created particularly for that. Good amount of amplified damage. As you can see, I'm running the Memento backpack, so picking up those trophies. And so the bonus armor is quite vital. So the bonus armor is important, okay? And it's about that reload problem. So remember I was telling you that reload is horrendous on most assault rifles for running and gunning, which is right. Assault rifles aren't always great for running and gunning, unless they got a really short reload time. Like the Ctar's got a short reload. The Chameleon's reload is pretty quick. So those are good ones to run and gun with. The Police M4 is a little on the slow side. It's basically the same as this one. So you kind of got to be careful with that one. It's on the edge. But that bonus armor is going a long ways in keeping me alive, basically. The Mind Killer. Yeah, I'm reading your comment. The Mind Killer says, I've been playing this game non-stop since the worldwide work from home movement of 2020. Good, man. Where you at? Where you at with the game? Are you, what's your watch level at? I mean, I'm wondering where you're at now. How fast are you able to level up? You only decided those hunters are worth the mission since there isn't anything else. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you put them off, I did them pretty early though. You know, as a newer player, I took on the hunters pretty early. I thought they were pretty cool. I remember like I joined up on a group once. It was kind of random. It was like a random matchmake in the open world. And you know, I just ended up like in this squad fight against like the 3 or 4 hunters around the Christmas tree in Washington D.C. And I remember that was like my first introduction to the hunters. I didn't know who they were before that. I was like, who are these guys? They're pretty tough. And then later I made it a point to take them all on, finish them off. And I wanted that shield splinter, you know, that's that first one you get by completing the Washington DC hunters. You get all your ivory keys. T-Robs made it in early. Good, bro. Glad you're here. Let's see who else has joined us. Black John Wick and Arnell. What's going on, guys? Parker, what's up? We got a couple of Parkers. We have Parker Fly and MK Parker. All right, I gotta know my who's who. OM Hound asks how to become a member to see those builds. Hey, OM Hound, at the top there's a pinned comment there. You gotta join Texas Players Club. It's basically a players club. It's called the Players Club. And you can join, but to see the builds, you need to be at least a True Bandido member level. So select that one, membership level, in order to get in. So there's a link up above in the chat feed. It's pinned in the chat. Also in the description area of the video, there's also a link there. And there's also a link that's kind of periodically dropping in the chat feed too. Actually, I can just drop one right now while I'm saying it, so you have it. Yeah, I appreciate your support, man. Thank you. Dutch Reaper, what up? Hey, Ray Ups, good to see you too. A bit late, but enjoying from Liverpool, England. All right. My UK boys in the house at sea. It must be about 10:30 p.m. in the UK, something like that. Depending on which time, where you are exactly. Good to have you, man. Good to have you here. Mr. Tanker Ray, my boy, what up, brother? Relentless is back in the house. Yeah, if you had a face like mine, Relentless, you'd definitely wear a mask, bro. Dark Devil, good to have you, man. Good to see you back. Hey, did anybody try the yesterday's live? So yesterday's live stream, if you guys were here for that, we did the fastest SMG build in the game. So it's based off of the vector, and I got the RPMs up to 1728. It's basically amazing. Nicholas Jackson, it's sunny here, man. I can feel that Caribbean sun that you're bringing to the Pacific Northwest. Thanks for showing. All right, check out this little fight right here. This is a good little fight. This is basically showing. Look at these are all elites here. So this is showing you what the build is. Okay, so after this control point, when we finish it out, I'll show off the build details, guys. So hang on just a minute. We're almost through this one. I can. What up, man? I feel like I'd slaughter your last name if I tried it, but let me see if I can say that. Sojutlugil. Sogutlugil. Am I anywhere close on your last name, or did I just butcher it horribly? Sorry if I did. I try to get people's names right. Yeah, you know, Scuba Steven says, happy to see the Savage Wolverine getting some love again. You know what's funny, Scuba? I just got it. Like, and I've been playing this game since forever. And I just got it, which is funny. So that's why I'm featuring it. I've been meaning to get it. It's just, you know what's funny? There was, I had only 2 tasks left when I went in there to get it. One of them was, I had to salute guys while they were on fire, which wasn't too hard, but kind of annoying to do that. The other one was I had to go to DARPA Labs. So the only reason why I didn't have this weapon was because I didn't want to go to DARPA Labs. Isn't that funny? I was like, I don't want to go to DARPA Labs. That sounds horrible, you know? So yeah, that kept me. Mindkiller's in Cape Town, all right. Right on, Mindkiller. Guyver says, Tux, do you have a build for the open world hunters? I have lots of builds for the open world hunters. I mean, a lot of things work, right? The ones that I like those, like, look at, like, if you're looking for a more recent one, look at those status effects builds. The one that says, like, all status, check out that one. That one's pretty cool. Except that one uses ongoing directive, which requires a kill to get you the bleeds and the amplified damage. So maybe not the best one because you know, you might go in there empty-handed. But if you're part of Texas Players Club, the Nightcrawler build would be absolutely amazing against those guys. As a matter of fact, I did use the Nightcrawler build against the Hunters, the Floor 100 Hunters, which is basically the same concept. So Nightcrawler is really good. Max Blind, like if any of those ones, the Max Blind type builds, where you got unlimited control, unlimited crowd control, no cooldown status effects, those are amazing. So you know, they take down your status effects for the first few seconds, right? But after that, you put them under constant status effects, and they can't get out of it. So they're blind, deaf, and dumb the whole time, basically. Raw Rowdy, what's going on, man? Yeah, so I recommend, like, it's just like playing the rogues. Like, if you ever notice, like Riot Foam against the rogues is OP. It's the same thing with the hunters. Anything that holds them still is usually OP, and that's why, like, you see people fighting Floor 100 hunters. There's always Riot Foam and traps involved, right? And so if you can use, so I recommend Riot Foam for open world hunters. If you can just Riot Foam them, that'll buy you enough time to wipe them down, you know? Now, the thing about them is they can use healing, they can heal themselves. So you want to make sure you hold them down for a good like 13-14 seconds. So try to get your right foam to that point, or just be quick on the draw and right foam them twice. Don't let them escape. So yeah, that's my recommendation. I really like right foam builds for those guys. So status effects. So yeah, you know, use that with I mean, you can go different ways for your weapon, but with the Scorpio in between there is also a good mix-up. Okay, let's take a quick look at the build. All right, so let's and then we'll get back to the gameplay footage. So this is at a high level of what the build looks like. Okay, so let's so I'm using 4 pieces of Hunter Fury. You see the memento, and I got a Cheska chest piece. Now, this is the weapon. Okay, so this is the Savage Wolverine. It's built up the Honey Badger, and as you can see, it's got only 3 mod slots. So this other one's a skin, which there's no special skin for it, which is weird. You'd think it would have a special skin. But so I got crit chance here and crit chance here. Now, in a perfect, like if I had the ability, I would actually prefer to put this reload speed here. But as with any assault rifles, you know, they have a hard time getting your crit chance value up. So I had to use a 5% crit chance. Okay, so but look at the reload time, 2.4 seconds. That's horrendous, okay? And if nobody ever really talks about that when they show off the Savage Wolverine builds, nobody talks about that. And that's just a shame. That's a shame. You know, I think a builder's responsibility is to point out some of the downsides of a weapon, and that's, you gotta build around that, okay? 2.4 seconds will get you killed, absolutely, with perfect close and personal. Okay, so all these builds, this one and the classified version of this build that I'll be creating for the Players Club, all take into consideration. They're all built around 2.4 second reload time, because that will get you killed. So perfect close and personal says you got to play within 7 meters. Okay, so which means you're gonna have 2 or 3 enemies standing in front of you, and if it takes you a full mag to kill an elite, then that means you're gonna have to reload at least once to kill the other 2 guys. Okay, and that's gonna take you 2.4 seconds. Those guys will take all your armor away and kill you. So you have to build around that reload time. It's vital. And nobody ever talks about that in any of the past Savage Wolverine builds that were created for the last 2 years. So that's sad. Sorry about that. Anyways, damage to target out of cover. Perfect close and personal is going to give you 7 meters. Within 7 meters, you can get 38% weapon damage for 10 seconds. So now that's a lot like Killer, okay? Like Perfect Killer on the Dark Winter. So it's basically an equivalent of that, except it's 38% weapon damage instead of crit hit damage. What's the difference? What's the difference? Well, there's a big difference, okay? The difference between this and Killer, and I have the Killer set up here. So let's just put that there. So there's a big difference between these, okay? Is that perfect close and perfect personal between Perfect Killer. Now, Perfect Killer's got a chance element to it, okay? There's a chance element to it. That means that, what I mean by chance is that you gotta crit against that enemy in order to get Killer to proc, right? When you kill them. So not only you gotta kill them, you gotta kill them with the crit. And so, if your crit's max out at 60% of the time, then that means only 60% of the time you're probably gonna activate Killer on kill. So only 60% of your kills are gonna activate Killer, on average, okay? With Perfectly Close and Personal, it's 100% of your kills are gonna activate Close and Personal as long as you're within 7 meters. So you gotta kill, and your second condition is being within 7 meters, but you got a 100% guarantee that you're gonna get that. So that's the difference between Killer and Close and Personal, right? So that's why you would use one over the other. So the reality is, on a perfect setup, you'd probably want to maybe like if you have the ability to not run a crit build, then don't. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't require crit, so that's really nice. So if you're running a shotgun build or even an assault rifle build, and so that's the other way to go too, is to not run crits on this build. You don't have to run crits. Okay, I decided to run crits because I had kind of leftover attributes, and I was like, what else do I do with them? And I'll show you that in a second. So I decided to run crits, but this is a good assault rifle build to not run crits with, and just go off of raw damage and amplified weapon damage and damage bonuses. But you don't need to run crits with this, because Killer is giving you 38% weapon damage without having to crit. That's really nice, okay? So anyways, so we're running 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury. So that's, we're definitely bypassing that 2-piece bonus, right? So we're not getting shotgun or SMG damage. We're not getting it, and we don't care, that's okay. Instead, we're getting the 20% armor on kill. That's absolutely vital. It's very important to have armor on kill on this build. Okay, so that armor, because you're playing in so tight that you need armor on kill because you're taking in a lot of damage. And again, remember I said building around the reload time? So every time you reload, those reload times are those moments when you're taking in damage, you know? So protected reload is another chest talent that would probably come in handy with this build, all right? But we're not doing that today. But, so that's why we have armor on kill. We have armor on kill because of the reload. I don't think we need armor on kill if the reload was fast. Anyways, Apex Predator, we're getting, again, we're playing within 7 meters, and Apex Predator gives you 20% amplified damage within 15 meters. So we're using an SMG shotgun set with an assault rifle. This isn't a brand new concept. We've done this with the Chameleon before. We've also done this with the Eagle Bearer and a few other assault rifles, the CTAR. So, so Apex Predator works nicely with certain talents on certain assault rifles. So again, 20% amplified damage. So that 15% weapon damage you're missing from the 2-piece set, we just made up for that with the 20% amplified damage. Again, that's 20% amplified damage on top of the 38% damage bonus from Savage Wolverine's Perfect Close and Personal. And then we're getting 5% amplified damage per enemy we kill, and that stacks up to 5 times, so that's a ton. So again, I got crit chance and crit damage on here and max weapon damage, and that's because I didn't need armor regen, right? Because we got 20% armor on kill, so I don't need armor regen. So the only other thing that you could possibly put there if you decide not to go crits, which is not a bad thing, is you could put weapon handling and headshot damage and just spec more into that. And that's because you got so much amplified damage and you got so much raw weapon damage, and then you got so many damage buffs from the memento that you don't actually need to work off of crits. On top of that, we're running this chest piece, which is giving us Intimidate, which is another 35% amplified damage to enemies within 10 meters, and we're playing within 7 meters, so it's perfect synergy there, okay? And so I'm using the chest up because without it, we wouldn't have our crit chances as high as we got it. So so I ended up going crits with this because just to make it more flexible instead of going headshot damage. But it's got max crits everywhere and max weapon damage basically. So the rest of the Hunter's Fury pieces all look the same. They got weapon damage and crit damage, and some have crit chance. So there's weapon damage. This one's got armor and crit damage. I put armor on here to boost our armor up to 1.1 million, okay? And that's gonna help our bonus armor. You want the bonus armor to stick around long enough, there's the holster, to help intimidate. So if your bonus armor is, if you don't have enough armor, then your bonus armor is, you know, 1 bullet later, your bonus armor is gone. So we're using the memento to power intimidate, okay? So that means you need to get a kill in order for Intimidate to proc. And so we're okay with that because Apex Predator is giving us 20% amplified damage just for standing in front of the enemy. So we're good with that. We're okay. Okay, so we got enough power, we got upfront power to get our kill. And then when we get that kill, we're gonna just be, you know, savage, basically, right? So we have 5% weapon damage, 10% damage bonus, 5% skill efficiency. So when we stack 30 trophies, we're gonna get 30% more weapon damage. That's like having stronger than vigilance. And then we're gonna get 3% armor regen and 30% skill efficiency. So every time we pick up a trophy, we're gonna get a short-term buff of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We're getting 25% weapon damage for a short-term buff. So we're gonna get, and that's gonna last for 10 seconds, okay? So when we get a kill, let me tell you, listen to the math. We're gonna get 38% weapon damage bonus plus 25% from the trophy off a single kill, and we're stacking kills, so it's actually gonna be a ton more than that. So what is that? 30, 40, 50, 8, 60. We're getting 63% weapon damage bonus from a single kill. All right? So, but first you gotta get the kill. So we got 20% amplified damage from our, you know, just for standing there. And then we're running the striker shield because we're running the firewall setup. So this is giving us 12% damage bonus per enemy. All we got to do is just stand there and we get that buff, okay? So we got a lot of buffs to help us get our first kill, and then once we get our first kill, we're basically on a rampage from there. So let's look at the stats. We got 54% crit chance, 105% crit damage. So the crit damage isn't very high. And that's because it took all of our slots just to get to 54% crit chance, you see? And so that's what I'm saying, like, you don't have to run crits on this build. I just ran through all of the reasons why you don't have to run crits, because you got a lot of damage bonuses coming in, including amplified damage and the memento trophy stack. So if you don't want to go crits, I recommend going, you don't want repair skills, you don't want armor regen, that's because you got armor and kill. So you can either go protection from elites and then headshot damage, or again, a weapon handling to try to get your reload time down. That would be absolutely a great perk. As a matter of fact, if you weren't running crits, you could save 0.2 seconds right there, just because I don't need that crit chance, so I'd be able to save on that. And then you could put your weapon handling mod up here. You see that? So you could drop your, without crits, we'd have a faster reload time. So I decided to go crits and just, I guess, over the top in power. Now for my secondary skill, I'm using the attack drone. Okay, it's not very strong, but it is gonna get 30% more skill efficiency when we have our memento buffs. But ultimately, that's just going to help us cross terrain, basically, without taking fire. So we're gonna send that out to enemies when we have to run long distances to distract them, or when you're fighting more than one enemy to distract them. So that's the build. A ton of fun. So let's check out some more gameplay. Actually, we were a little bit farther ahead, weren't we? So here, we were a little bit farther ahead than that. Sorry, I restarted it. Okay, let me jump. I think yeah, that's where we were. We're right there. Okay, headed into this next control point, which is the choke, which is always fun because there's lots of close quarter combat situations. They don't spread out too much, so it's a good way to run this build. It's a good test for this build. Let me just fast forward into the fight a little bit. Here we go. Giant 5150, what's going on? Dr. Hannes. Frank Harvey says, I ran, let's see, yesterday's build last night. Sick. Ran a FAMAS as a secondary to offset torture 3M. You know, I thought about that today, Frank. I'm glad you just mentioned that. So you ran a FAMAS as a secondary. I thought about that today. I was like, you know what would have been a really good idea? So on yesterday's build, again, it was a 4-piece striker using the Vector, right? And I was like, you know, in there's certain situations where you have long range, the strikers, what's really good about the striker set is there's no distance limit to it, like Hunter's Fury, right? Hunter's Fury is like, if you're not playing within 15 meters, you might as well not be running Hunter's Fury. Well, and so I was thinking about that too. I was like, oh, I should have ran I ran a shotgun for my secondary weapon with that Vector build, but I should have ran like a CTAR or a Police M4 or even a FAMAS like you're saying. That would have been a better choice, is to run an assault rifle as a secondary weapon, and you could, that makes the build more versatile. You can switch between long range, short range with that build setup. So I'm not a big shield guy, as you guys know, but again, we're getting that it's protecting the shield is protecting our bonus armor. So that's one reason I'm using it, is because the longer we have our bonus armor, then the longer we're gonna have Intimidate set up, you know? But also because of reload, okay? Again, remember I said this build is basically created around two things. One, the perfect close and personal, so you have to be within 7 meters. So you gotta play fast, you have to have a setup that allows you to face tank multiple enemies and move quickly. But also the reload. So the shield is gonna allow, I'm gonna be taking damage while I'm reloading, so I need the shield and the bonus armor to help me with that. But if I can keep the bonus armor up, then that's more power for me because of Intimidate. So, and it works really well. So you don't have to use your shield all the time. So of course, one of the reasons, again, I'm building around that reload time. So basically after, that's why we're running Hunter's Furies, because you get that kill and it disorients the group, and that's gonna buy you time to get your reload off, right? So that's what I mean by, you know, creating a build that's accounts for that slow reload. And if you don't, then it's gonna get you killed. Munch my gosh. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. He says your builds are the bomb. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I try to make them fun. Fun for me, fun for you. Cool Decor says, Tux, you should do a merciless build. I try, man. I try. It's just not a very good gun, you know? Like, I mean, the last time I tried to put a merciless build together, which wasn't that long ago, like 3 months ago, I went all in, man. You know, because those explosions aren't explosive damage, they're weapon damage, right? The primers or whatever, they're weapon damage. So I went all in on this build to make this thing really strong. So it was all red, the sacrifice, perfect glass cannon, just it had Fox's prayer knee pads, right? So just it was a really strong build. It's all damage, no survivability, no armor and kill, nothing, right? It was just 100% damage. And I just loaded an elites with all of those explosives, and then, you know, they exploded and it wouldn't kill him. I couldn't get it with glass cannon, with perfect glass cannon. I couldn't get those explosives to kill the enemy. And so I was like, this gun's worthless. You know, if you can't kill a single elite with a max amplified damage, explosive, multiplicative damage build, then, you know, that's your survivability, right? That's your survivability. Riot foam is your Achilles heel, so look out for that. Boom. So that riot foam got me killed right there. We started taking too much heat. So yeah, it's not. So again, I always try. Every few months, I end up picking up the merciless build. I was like, because I'm determined to come up with some sort of build for it, but it's got to do its job. It's got to get at least one elite kill, and they can't do that, you know, without a reload. That sucks, you know. It doesn't have the stagger power. It's got horrible RPM. You know what I mean? So it's like tink 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 tink, and then boom, and then you get your stagger. It's just like, but after like, you know, 20 seconds of shooting. It sucks. I mean, it's a cool concept for a gun, but I don't know. Both of the guns that have those explosive primers suck. Like the Ravenous sucks too, right? I think the only probably a perfect use case for the Ravenous is really just the raid, just to stagger the 4th boss, but the kind of situational weapons. Giant 5150 says, I'm working on an explosive resistance Hasbro tank support build for PvP. Explosive resistance Hasbro tank support build. Yeah, that's tanky. 1.3 million armor, trauma, crit status build, and foundry deflector shield with Ridge's part and tardigrade. Or tardigrade. Test will decide. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Annoying to the enemy, I would say. Pathetic Circus is back with a name to remember. Pathetic Circus. Goon Squad, you're looking for that Dark Winter, huh? Chicken and Chips says, question, what about Strain? What do you mean about Strain? Like, what would you like to know about Strain? Strain's a really good talent for a crit build. It turns out that in most cases, what's it called, measured, it ends up being stronger. Crit will end up critting higher. We did that test on an assault rifle build the other day, but I really like Strain. I use it. I have been using it a lot for the last year, I guess I would say. Let me skip forward a little bit further because you guys seen this. Oh, that's how you came up with your name? You're watching Nitro Circus? That's funny. That makes sense. I get it. That's funny. CMOT Dibbler! CMOT, what up, brother? Glad you caught this one, man. You're on a roll. Yeah, I try to change up the live stream time so that I can get different people in different time zones. So I'll do some. I do streams at like first thing in my morning, and then I do some kind of early afternoon, and then I'll try to do some like that 2 or 3 o'clock time zone. So this one I'm doing a little bit early today, guys, because I'm also going to be streaming on Twitch in a little while. So I'll probably be streaming on Twitch in about an hour and a half. And so that's going to be a build discovery session. So if you'd like to, meet me up in the lab and provide feedback on builds as I'm creating them, then Twitch is a good place to meet up with me at. So if you're not following me on Twitch, you should. I stream different content over there, fresh, unique content of the Division 2. So different Division 2 content. It's not repeat content. So I'm not going to go over there and do the same Savage Wolverine build. It'll be a different live stream today. So anyway, so Wednesdays and Fridays are my usual Twitch stream days. And then I do impromptu Twitch streams too. So there is, I go beyond what is scheduled over there on Twitch. Some impromptu stuff. But yeah, so I like it when you guys head over there to Twitch, because that way, as I'm creating builds and testing, it's more relaxed. Just kind of kick back, flow, test, try kind of thing. So. Yeah, the Wolverine, Russell Fraser. What kind of setup did you use for the Wolverine back in the day? Good to have you on board, man. Good to see you back. Russell, what kind of setup did you used to use for the Wolverine? I'm kind of curious on what people used to use back in the day. So the Savage Wolverine isn't brand new, right? I think it basically came out with Warlords of New York. Isn't that right, guys? Because it was part of the Technician projects. Not the Technician. Sorry, it's the Firewall. So yeah, guys, if you don't know how to get this, I should say that you can get this by completing your Firewall project. So you have to go to your Firewall specialization and activate the projects there. Now, if you've been playing the game for a little bit, you probably have already completed many of them. So this build's a little tanky, right? Not overly tanky. It's like just the right amount of tankiness. But you got that 20% armor and kill, so that's your survivability. And then so is that disorient status effect. That disorient status effect is critical to get your reload time in. So that's why, again, Hunter's Fury is ideal for this. And yeah, Hunter's Fury, if you guys didn't know, is a great set for fast-paced assault rifle builds. So if you want to run and gun, pull in close, move quickly, get into the kill box and take on the enemies face-to-face, then take a look at the Hunter's Fury build. Really, really good. The amp damage is great with assault rifles. That disorient status effect is going to help you with your slow reloads, because most assault rifles kind of are on the slower end of reloads, right? Like anything over 2 seconds is considered slow in my mind. Like the reality, like the run and gun, you probably want to either have instant reloads or something less than 1.9 seconds. So yeah, if you were playing this more casual and playing farther back, like deeper, then you basically wouldn't be using the talent. And so that's kind of why I'm playing more aggressively. But it's fun. It's fun. I totally recommend playing it this way too. And so you can see when the talent's procced in that little square, there's a little little icon box on the assault rifle itself. When I'm kind of pulled in and aiming, you'll see it. So right there to the right above that number, the meters number there, it says 13 meters. So it's not active right now. And then once I activate it, you'll see that number go up. Oh, you'll see a little icon. There it is. So there's a guarantee that it'll come on as long as you're within 7 meters. See, and then it refreshes too. So every kill will refresh within 7 meters too. No cooldowns. So that makes it nice. So you can always have it when you need it, basically. Yeah, you ran it with glass cannon. That's interesting. I thought about that. Clutch or bloodsucker. I can see both of those work. I mean, clutch. I mean, I wouldn't. Back in the day, clutch might have been different when you were using clutch, of course, because they did change clutch. But I find, you know, clutch is better with the higher RPMs, and this one's at 790, which isn't super low, but not high. But you know, it might actually, now let me rethink that. That might be a good little try because you're chain killing. And so, yeah, I can see that being, you know, so, and you know, the way clutch works, like once you you got to get a kill to activate clutch, right? There's two parts to it, but the most appealing part is the 100% armor on kill part, right? Or 99.9% armor on kill, technically. But you gotta get a kill to activate it, and then every crit after that will heal you. So clutch would be nice because right there, like, we would have got a kill, and then we would have critted on the other enemies, and that would have all been healing us up to 100%. So yeah, I could see that. I could see that being working out. Really fun gun to use though too. You know, especially if you like challenge builds that kind of like challenge your mind into, you know, building around a talent and thinking through it. You know, that's a lot of fun. I like that. Base Connor's in the house. What's going on, Base? Oh, appreciate you, Base Connor. Thanks for supporting me by buying me a cup of coffee. Love that, man. Thank you. Good to see you too, man. You've been burning on both ends, huh? Working late? Playing late? Dark Devil, that's a good question. The Pyromaniac, like, I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it personally. That's my thing. I mean, I used to like it, like back in the, like when I first started the game, you know, and this is like before Eclipse Protocol and all that stuff, you know, but, you know, like, so basically you guys, if you guys didn't know, like you get 25% weapon damage when an enemy's on fire, right? So the reason why I don't like it is because then you got to have something that constantly puts your enemy on fire, or you're going to be missing out on 25% weapon damage. So that means you need something that has, you basically need to have a full chem set, right? And so you're talking a max skill tier build, you know, and then that's going to weaken your assault rifle so much that I don't really even care about that 25% weapon damage. It's just not enough, you know? So, you know, so I find like the Scorpio just ends up being better in that example, in that situation, as one example, because the Scorpio has just got such a high base weapon damage that you're good to go there. Plus it's going to give more status effects to the enemies. Plus it's going to give them 20% damage from all sources. So it's just, I don't know. What's the other one I use for fire, my fire builds? I just created some. The Scorpio ended up, I mean, yeah, the Scorpio shotgun ended up being, I think, my go-to in all those situations. I just created them for the Nightcrawler. I think it was the Nightcrawler, the all status build. Those are basically fire builds. Also, even the capacitor. Oh, the test subject. I'm sorry. That's why. It's the test subject that makes it obsolete, Daredevil. Dark Devil, sorry. The test subject is what makes it obsolete. Because it's got perfect in sync, which is going to give you 40% weapon damage. So you pull out your chem, you shoot them with your fire, and then you shoot them with your test subject. You got 40% weapon damage and 40% skill damage. So the problem with the Pyromaniac is it only gives you 25% weapon damage just to your weapon and doesn't buff your skills at all. So what would you rather have? Let's forget about the skill buff. 40% weapon damage or 25% weapon damage? 40% weapon damage or 25% weapon damage? Which is better? Obviously 40% weapon damage, right? And then in sync is also going to buff your skills. So that's what really makes it obsolete. We got the test subject, we got the capacitor, and the Scorpio. Those three options I would probably choose over the Pyromaniac, which is sad because the Pyromaniac used to be good. It's a Police M4, and I love the Police M4. Guyver, yeah. Giving the Savage Wolverine some love. So this is a Hunter's Fury setup. I'll show the build again in a moment. But digging it. But again, the funny thing is I just got my Savage Wolverine, so that's sort of why I'm giving it love. Ozv, what's up? Oh yeah, you've been using the status builds. Pathetic Circus, have you tried Max Blind? Have you gone that far back in my builds? Have you tried the Max Blind build? If you haven't, you need to check that one out. That one's actually probably, that's basically a Tux signature build. There's a few Tux signature builds that are like so unique that nobody else has ever created anything like them. Max Blind is one of those. Slaughter is another one. That's another Tux signature build. Guaranteed to love. Yeah, good call, Ignited, Eyeless. The problem with this is that Ignited and Eyeless are like Eyeless. I mean, they're just so, they won't even be active most of the time, right? So multiplicative, additive, amplified, all of it, all above, it wouldn't even matter because they're just not active enough, right? It's not active enough. Plus, I think a lot of people forget about the burst damage on the fire skills. Like, you guys, if you haven't run skill damage on your pyro build, you should try it. You will be surprised. It's like you either could slow burn them and hope they die, or you could hit them with your chem and kill them quickly and guarantee a kill. So even with your Eclipse Protocol build, try it without the status effects and roll in, or not, don't get rid of all your status effects, but roll in some skill damage on an Eclipse Protocol build or whatever your pyro build is. And you'll be surprised. You can get that chem to burn, and the burst damage from the fire will take off most of their armor, and then the status effects will just kind of finish it off. Now, a lot of people run status effects because they want the biomask on top of that, but the biomask is actually kind of weak, guys, even if you go full into it. The biomask is actually kind of weak. It's good if you don't have any damage on your build, if you're just going to go all into CC, like crowd control. So the biomask is great for crowd control builds. It is. But if you want to kill with your Eclipse Protocol build, then add some skill damage there, and you'd be surprised on what you can do. What's up, Dispatch, my man? How are you doing, brother? Yeah, the poor Imperial Dynasty. Wasn't it really cool when it first came out? Everybody was like, especially in the PvP world, we're using it a lot. The devs nerfed it, and then that, and I think it just, the cooldown kind of sucks on it, right? And it just kind of sucks also that you can't target an enemy too. So like, it's just kind of random. Okay, let me quickly, while we're doing this, show you the build highlight real quick, okay? Well, my guy's scrounging for stuff. So here's the build, pretty easy. So it's built on Savage Wolverine. Again, perfect close and personal, damage to targets out of cover. I got crits on both my mods, and plus more ammo. Now, the whole build is spec'd into the talent and the reload time. The reload time can get you killed if you don't spec around it. Perfect close and personals, if you get a kill within 7 meters, you can get 38% weapon damage, okay? Now, there's no cooldown on that, so you can constantly proc that 38% weapon damage. Now, we're running Hunter's Fury, so we're missing out on the 2-piece talent, but we don't care. We're getting the 20% armor on kill. Again, that's going to help you because you're going to take damage because of your reload time. Your reload time is going to make you cause you to get more damage. And then Apex Predator is giving us 20% amp damage. Again, we're playing within 7 meters because of the talent on our weapon. So that's giving us 20% amp damage within 15 meters. So it's perfect. And then we're going to get 5% damage to every target we kill. That's under the status of, or the Apex Predator icon. And that's going to stack 5 times. And I went max crits on this build. And then all 4 Hunter's Fury pieces basically look the same. This one's got armor to pull us up to 1.1 million armor. And then here's the holster. Now, for the backpack, we're using the Memento. We're gonna get another 25% weapon damage bonus for every trophy we pick up. That's in addition to the 38% weapon damage bonus on kill. So basically on kill, we're getting 30, 40, 50, 58, 63% weapon damage bonus every time we get a kill, right? As long as they're within 7 meters. And then when you stack 30 of those, you can get 30% more weapon damage plus 3% armor regen. We're also going to pick up 20% bonus armor when we grab that trophy plus 30% skill efficiency when we stack 30 trophies. So yeah, it's all about the Memento. Again, that bonus armor is going to help with that reload time. Again, you can take damage on reload, so the bonus armor is a vital component to the build for the Savage Wolverine, in my opinion. And then to take advantage of that bonus armor, we're going to use the Intimidate talent. So this is Cheska with all crits. And then I got Intimidate. And that's going to give us 35% weapon damage when we have bonus armor. Now, I'm running the Firewall Shield. It is mostly to protect the bonus armor, also to help us while we're reloading, so we don't take as much damage, okay? And that's going to give us 13% damage bonus per enemy. All right, so again, this is to help us with our reloads and to protect our bonus armor. So by protecting our bonus armor, we're ensuring that Intimidate is going to be more active more of the time. So that's why we're running Striker. So here's the stats. We're at 54% crit chance, 105% crit damage. Not impressive, but we're getting so much damage bonuses, so much amplified damage that we don't even care. Plus, we got good defense here, 1.1 million armor, 20% armor on kill. So that's a build, tons of fun. And then I'm using the Striker drone to basically distract. So here we are, now we're at the Sleeping Giant. So let's see how it performs. Hey, if you're just not joining us, be sure to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done that. Appreciate you guys. Also, as a reminder, I will be twitching on stream. I will be streaming on Twitch a little later today in about an hour and a half. So join me over there. If you haven't, I'd appreciate you guys following me over on Twitch. I do different Division 2 content coverage over there. So you can get Division 2 everywhere. Is everybody part of Discord? If you haven't, you should also join my Discord. Good place to group up, hook up with other banditos, whether you want to raid, talk builds, play legendaries. Watch this big tanky guy. Watch this guy. Wow. That was a one-clip scenario. We one-clipped him. One-magged, sorry. One-magged his ass. He was really tanky. Really tanky. So that's... You should be impressed a little bit. So we had an amp damage, we had close and personal kicked in, we picked up a trophy, so we basically had a lot of our perks up at that time. So once we broke his armor, you didn't even notice how long he lived. Okay, are you guys ready? Brace yourselves. Watch this slaughter fest that we're gonna have here. And so basically this is a spawn killer build. I mean, look at it that way, okay? Like, you want to get it, this is an assault rifle spawn killer build. So, it does a really good job of, you know, again, close and personal. So, we're not using the close and personal right now because I'm playing a little deep. a little too deep for it right here because I'm basically guarding this drop point, this enemy drop point. So even without close and personal, just the way the build is set up, it does pretty good. There you go, Seamont Dibbler. Your head's in the right spot, man. So if you can take out the hugger, you know, the guy with the explosive chest piece, like if you can take him out at the spawn, it'll just destroy the rest of the enemies that come after him. He's usually first, right? He's usually first out. So taking him out will just destroy everybody. And anyways, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Mr. Gods, man, what's going on, brother? You kicking butt and taking names? Oh, so Pathetic Circus, you got this gun too? Did you get you got yourself Savage Wolverine? Good job. Not everybody has it because a lot of people don't like to do those projects. My batteries died right there, by the way. We're good, we're good. So let me go back to the build and just kind of leave this here for a second. So, you know, those of you that are looking to create this. Again, it's all about building around the Savage Wolverine. That's really important, right? So the Savage Wolverine has a base 2.4 second reload time. And on top of that, you got to kill within 7 meters to get the damage bonus. So you got to, and so it's sort of a backwards combo, right? And so you have to take that into consideration when you're creating your build, and that's what this one does. It's using Hunter's Fury because of the disorient status effect that buys you time for your reload. It's using the bonus armor from Memento to buy you time for your reload. It's using the Striker Shield from Firewall to buy you time from your reload, right? So you got 3 layers of reload protection, basically. And that's because not all of them are going to be active at the same time, right? So sometimes you'll kill somebody, you get the disorient status, but you won't have bonus armor, maybe your shield's broken. Or sometimes you get a kill far away and you have to reload and they're outside of the disorient status effect range, so the group doesn't get status effect. And then you're too far away to grab the trophy, so you don't have your bonus armor, so now you only have your shield. So on, and so there's different circumstances, so you need those layers of protection. Again, it'd be interesting also to just go no crits on this build. Again, the crit chance takes up so many slots. Our crit damage is at only 105%. Now, when you have a bunch of amplified damage and weapon damage like we do, and then damage bonuses, that's still a lot. It adds up to be a lot. It doesn't look like a lot because it's only 105%, and we're used to having like 200 and 300% crit damage on different builds, right? So it doesn't look like a lot, but you got to remember it's about a layered system of offense, right? So you got your base weapon damage, and then your crits jump that up, and then you got your if there is a multiplicative stat, I don't think there is, but then we have the amplified damage, so it's gonna take all of that damage, the crit damage and the base weapon damage, and then amplify it as the third attribute applied. So that's what's gonna drive it up. So without the crit damage, then you wouldn't be able to achieve the numbers that we are, even though it's at only 105%. So a lot of fun. Really hard to test in the testing range though, so that's why I don't really have a max crit damage. We'd have to pull that from the gameplay, but that's because the Memento, we're really using the Memento. Without the Memento, we're not gonna get that bonus armor, which is not gonna give us Intimidate. Also, we're not gonna get the 25% weapon damage perk. And the reality is we're grabbing 2-3 Memento trophies at a time because we're able to kill 3 elites under a single mag. So, not 3 elites, 3 enemies under a single mag. 1 to 2 elites under a single mag, depending on the elites. So, yeah, Biko, this build would be a candidate under weapon handling. That's what I was saying. So, like, if you don't want to run crits, then don't. I would put weapon handling and protection from elites, or weapon handling and headshot damage. One of those 2 combos. That's where I would go with this. So, so if you don't, because you're getting so much amplified damage, you're getting so much damage bonuses, you don't need the crits to do what we did, right? And so I just kind of went this way, but because basically all your attributes are excess. You know, you need the base weapon damage, the red cores, so you don't want to lose your red cores. Okay, so you don't want to go too much armor. So that's the one thing I warn against, and that's because you pick up, every time you pick up your trophies, you're gonna get a big damage bonus, and you're close enough to pick up your trophies because again, we're playing within 7 meters, right? So you don't want to lose your damage bonus from your trophies. That's basic. Your trophies are basically putting perfect close and personal on steroids, right? So again, don't look at this as 38. This build is not 38% weapon damage on kill within 7 meters. It's really 63% weapon damage on kill within 7 meters at least, because those trophies are perfectly lined up with the talent. They last 10 seconds. That short-term buff lasts 10 seconds. How long does the close and personal last? 10 seconds. The close and personal has no cooldown, right? The trophies have no cooldown. As long as you get a kill, you get a new trophy. Same with this. As long as you get a kill within 7 meters, you get 38% weapon damage. And so it's an automatic. You're always going to get your trophy with this situation. You're always going to pick up your trophy. So it's not like you're playing from range and sometimes you get your trophy and sometimes you don't. No, you're within 7 meters. You're getting that trophy every time. Every time. So yeah. So you can go weapon handling. So basically, probably weapon handling and protection from elites would be the way to go. And maybe 1 or 2 headshot damage slots throughout if you have a really good consistent aim and able to land shots on the head. But if you're not very good at headshots, then maybe not. But the weapon handling, first of all, if you drop your crits, then right there, you're gonna bring your, well, let me show you what it is. So we're at 2.4 seconds, right? 2.4 seconds. So if we drop our crits, I don't need that crit chance mod. We're now at 2.2 seconds. And then I can put weapon handling as my scope. Now we're at 2.1 seconds. So we already got an improvement, right? Now the ideal situation would probably, realistically, like 1.7 seconds. That's what you want your reload to be if you want to run and gun. That's the ideal reload, 1.7 seconds. So the rest you can make up with probably 3 weapon handling changes, all right? And then from there, I move the rest to protection from elites, and like I'd change all my mods to protection from elites, all these 3 mods to protection from elites. Again, that's gonna help mitigate that close and personal battle combat you're doing. You're gonna be taking damage in close and personal. That's gonna help your, that's gonna help basically your bonus armor stay alive longer, stay up longer. And if your bonus armor stays up longer, that means Intimidate stays up longer. And then, you know, awesome, right? So I'd change everything to protection from elites, and then put weapon handling instead of crit damage there. And I'd probably put probably 3 weapon handling attributes, and then move the rest to headshot damage. And then, of course, protection from elites for all the mods. That's the other way to run this. Great way to run it. And so the only reason why, going crits is just a little bit more flexible for people. And so that's the way that's the reason why I went for crits. It's a little more flexible for people. I don't know. You can go either way, but cool, guys. So that's all I have for today. I really appreciate it. So catch me in about an hour or so. I'll be on Twitch streaming a new build creation. So I'll be in the lab. So catch me over there. Peace, guys.
Tuxedo out.
Flows, and that's how it goes.